What's up, guys? We are here at the Ohio History Center. We're going to be taking a guided look through the museum and learn a little bit about Ohio history and get uh, get to business here. So let's go. You can visit the Ohio History Center and Ohio Village Wednesday through Sunday from 10 to 5. So if you guys want to check this out, here you go. So, if you are a AAA member, you can get a discount on your ticket. That's what I got. Usually it's $16, and I got in for 15. So, there you go. A little bit of savings. The infamous mastodon skeleton here at the Ohio History Center. It's found deep underground. We are here at the Ohio Sports exhibit. Oscar Robertson from University of Cincinnati signed this book. And here is a racing suit from Bobby Rahal. He's from Medina, and he was big in the IndyCar scene. Pretty cool. We also have some things here on on Jesse Owens, world famous Olympian sprinter from Cleveland. Very important for the Berlin Olympics in '36. When Germany hosted the Olympics, and he won the gold medal. So he, organized his league, and when was looking for teams that could be around. In fact, one of his methods was to hire professional football players to be associated with the Toledo Troopers. Never heard of this team. We'll have to. They played in the '70s. The Women's Football Alliance is what this is from. Interesting. Did not know there was a women's football league here in Ohio. Here we got a picture of Scott Hamilton. He's from Bowling Green. That's where I went to school. So he put an ad in the paper looking to generate we also have a tradition of the Special Olympics here in Ohio. Herb Score played for the Indians. AAU basketball champions, 1961, 60 years ago now. And if anyone here in Columbus, we all remember Save the Crew. One of the biggest sports events in Ohio that has happened, but it's also pretty important across the world. So let's continue with the sports section. We have a map, but I like to just kind of roam here. Let's keep going this way. And here is the character section of the Ohio Sports Museum or exhibit. Here we have Ohio Roller Derby. Lots of women play roller derby, compete in roller derby here in the area. And it is kind of a national thing. Very cool. You don't hear a lot about roller derby, but it's here at the Ohio Historical Center. They got all kinds of hoops here. No balls to... Oh, yeah, they do. Here we go. Alright, we're going to shoot one-handed here. Yep, that's why I don't play basketball. Object temporarily removed. That's pretty cool. But here we have vest worn by Jim Tressel, coach of Ohio State. Before that, he was coach at Youngstown State, won a bunch of FCS, former 1AA national championships in football. If you're from Ohio, you know Jim Tressel. Here we go. Here is the 1991-92 women's girls basketball, Logan High School. Katie Smith won the National Player of the Year and went on to win some gold medals and became a head coach in the WNBA for the New York Liberty. Pretty cool. She's from Logan. Can you believe that? And next to the character section is the tradition section. So here you can see some Jack Nicklaus stuff here. Memorial Tournament up in Dublin. I think I even went to this 1998 Memorial Tournament back in the day. Jack Kidwell used these tools to design golf courses here in Columbus. He's from Grove City. I know we'll be visiting some markers commemorating him as well. Of course, you can't have Ohio sports without Ohio State. And the biggest thing here is the best damn band in the land. See the baton and a set chart for Script, Ohio from 1950 when the Buckeyes played the Cal Golden Bears in the Rose Bowl. Here's even a piece of sheet music signed by the composer, Bill Daughtry. If you don't know, Ohio has a lot of presidential history. And the first ceremonial first pitch was William Howard Taft. You can see this is a little figurine that depicts William Howard Taft, as getting ready to throw a baseball. Warren G. Harding also threw out first pitch as well. Toledo, Ohio also has a Mud Hens. That's the AAA affiliate for the Detroit Tigers. And pretty cool. This is the Elia Buck Trophy. Whoever wins in games against Ohio State and Illinois, they get to put their score here on the turtle shell. There's a different one, of course, because you can see this one goes from 2007 to 2014. So there's another one in circulation. But this is the earliest Elia Buck rivalry trophy. There's lots of rivalry trophies now in college football, but
This goes back to 1926. It was the first wooden trophy after the turtle died. So another big um, part of Ohio sports history is football, obviously, but we have everything from Division One to Division Three, and even NAIA football teams. And this is a playbook from Mount Union's 2012 championship season. They're a D3 school located here in Ohio, in Alliance. And if you know Mount Union, they are a perennial championship winning team in Division 3 football. So the next one we have here is the identity section. I think we're going to go over some champions, and this is the first display. Here is baseball. We have the Cleveland Indians, now known as the Guardians. So you can see some artifacts here with the controversial Chief Wahoo on each of them. Now, it's not a popular subject among Cleveland sports fans, but we progress. Here are the Cincinnati Reds. So we have a Pete Rose jersey, as well as a Johnny Bench jersey, and some programs and photos of the original Cincinnati Reds teams back from the late 1860s. And it wouldn't be Ohio sports without the king, LeBron James. So in LaRue, Ohio, they had the Oorang Indian football team. It was an all Native American team, and it included the world famous Jim Thorpe. We've got some more OSU stuff here. Some Buckeyes. Dedication program from Ohio Stadium. First game against Michigan, looks like, right? They celebrated the 100th year of the stadium this year, so we'll be checking that out at some point. Here we have some things from looks like the Miami tribe of Oklahoma, and they have historical ties to Ohio. They helped develop what we call lacrosse now. And this is probably one of the most sought out thing. This is from Willie McGee. He played with LeBron James, won a state championship with St. Vincent St. Mary High School up in the Akron area. So high school football is a big thing here in Ohio, and one of the bigger rivalries up in the northeast part of the state is Massillon versus McKinley. They have programs here that go all the way back as far as 1933, and that is pretty impressive. And then they also have a display here on the LGBTQ sports here in Ohio, which, believe it, we have a very big presence here. There's a big softball program, a tournament that happens, and looks like we also had some bowling. But this is the gay games have been held here in Ohio. And then we have a Harlem Globetrotters jersey, and then a basketball here commemorating the Brookhaven High School girls basketball team who went undefeated in 1996. And then looks like this is from the this is from 2010. This is from see, it's from Reggie Lee's 500th win at Brookhaven High School. That's here in Columbus. Very cool. So now we are in the exhibit that talk about the ceremonial earthworks, the mounds here in Ohio. There's several throughout the state, and they highlight them all here. So you have Hopeton, High Banks, Mound City, Seep, Hopewell Mound Group, Fort Ancient, the Octagon Earthworks, and then the Great Circle Earthworks. This is interesting. Alright. So, not sure what these are exactly, but they have some objects from these Indian civilizations that were forced to leave their homes in Ohio during the 1830s and 1840s, part of the kind of pioneer age of Ohio where things weren't as well known. But here is some artifacts from Fort Ancient. This is down, believe in this like Little Miami River area in southwest Ohio. But you can see they have some copper artifacts from different fragmentations of tools and various just things made out of copper. You can see them oxidizing. So here is the Hopewell Mound Group. This came from the Cleveland area. Or no, this looks like it might be Frankfort Chillicothe Road. Not quite sure, but this came from Mound 17. Look at those rocks just smoothed out. You can see this is made out of copper. It's oxidizing, but these stones are huge. They would definitely hurt getting hit by them. They also have some other things mainly used as tools. This thing looks a little suspicious. So does that thing. And that. But you have more pipes. And look at this. This is pretty cool. Looks like this came from ivory of sorts. Carving. More rocks. More pipes. There's lots of pipes that were found here. But we also got some arrowheads as well. So, interesting. Oh, and look at these rocks. These rocks are shiny. And here are some clay fragments that were burnt. But they were used in ceremonial fires amongst ancient American Indians. This was found in the Seep Mound. You can see here. It's pretty big. We'll have to take a look. Figure where that is. It's in Ross County, down south of here. We got some more offerings here from the Hopewell Mound group. More stones, more tools, different rocks. And this is part of the clay basin. It's strange. Side note, I highly recommend coming here middle of the week during the day. I'm literally kind of the only person here, so definitely worth checking out. So here is the map. We are going into Gallery 3. This is going to have just some generic Ohio stuff here. So we have some toys here. This is just Ohio in general. There's a picture of the tornado path from the Xenia tornado from 1974. They've had a couple big ones. But you can also see some, a baseball bat here. A Louisville Slugger. Let's see. They have directories here with all of the various things on display here, and it looks like each of these come from a different county. So there's a shovel from Ohio University, a picture of Neil Armstrong taken on the moon, a Buzz Aldrin from Buzz Aldrin, Belmont County, all of these here. So definitely worth checking out. They have all kinds of different artifacts. Here's from Cuyahoga County, the lunchbox. Here, strawberry shortcake must have been, looks like it was made there from the American Greeting Corporation, Cleveland. That would be the greeting card company. And who can say Ohio without mentioning Bob Evans? Like, honestly, best breakfast place here. Founded in Rio Grande, Ohio, down here at the bottom of Ohio. That's where we are now, Franklin County. There's even a violin and a bicycle. So here they have all kinds of different artifacts, but this is from the Gay Pride Parade in Columbus in 1981 and throughout the years. Buttons and a kind of a pass. But there's some other things here as well. Here's a coin from a token from 1838 from the Ohio Anti-Slavery Group. Worked hard on getting abolition here in Ohio. Here's some old photos. Looks like Civil War era photos. There's some different stuff you can touch. Here's an old radio. Looks like, yeah, old radio. You can even listen to the police radio. Here's even some fossils. Wood and different small insect type creatures. Here are some artifacts that were recovered. That were recovered from the President Harding, his home, his childhood home. It was done in 2018. The artifacts in this case were all recovered from a privy found near the press house. Contained nearly 2,000 artifacts, including a lot of broken window glass, candle, shade shards, broken ceramic seeds, and 53 patent medicine bottles. I'm not really sure why this was all just laying around, but I mean, some interesting stuff. There's some original China glasses, literally from China from the 1880s. Plastic cone doesn't look too different than it did over 100 years ago. Over here we have some musical instruments. I think these were all made in Ohio. Thomas Edison invented the phonograph. And that is right here. That's how they used to play their favorite hits. Guitars and jazz instruments, and this is a really cool organ type, even an old style metronome with that a big horn right here. Oh, this is cool. Some old games, some globes. It's really poorly lit, but there's even a tray, maybe like an ashtray type deal from the World of Toys in Bryan, Ohio. Got some tops, a lot of clown stuff. That's creepy. Look, there's even a picture of the Mona Lisa. You have some birds here. Great horned owl. Got some smaller birds. There's a tern that looks more like a seagull to me, but what do I know? Then looks like a female bald eagle. Just Jay chilling here. Have a chicken. Spoonbill. Very interesting. I wonder where you can find that here. And look at these very small birds. The orioles and the bluebirds. I've seen them all here. So, one of the biggest thing is Kodak. First camera for home use here in America. George Eastman, definitely from Ohio, but you can see some really early photographs here. Depicting early life in the late 1800s. More birds. Lots of crazy. There's even a flying squirrel. I did not know you can find those in Ohio. You can definitely find these guys, squirrels and chipmunks. Oh, here we go. Some artifacts of my generation. Star Wars toys. Here's some more camera. Old photographs. These came from Eastman Kodak Company. It's located in Rochester, New York. So, depicting Ohio life. Made in New York. So here is another LBGTQ history piece. This is the Flagets, Ohio. It's a color guard. And here's one of the rifles, parade rifles that they did during the Pride Parade in 2004. My favorite president, Barack Obama. I got to see him at my high school during his campaign in 2008. But love seeing that here too as well. So now we are kind of in the transportation area of the museum. There is a electric car here that was I think here in Columbus, and then looks like it was here obviously in 1888, 1890, but then Columbus sold it to Lancaster in 1896. It was used until 1937. There's no reason why we can't still have these, in my opinion. But it came here in 1991. We can hop on board. We can see what it was like. Definitely a bit creaky. But look at the ornate glass up here at the top. And you just stroll along the street in this thing instead of walking. This is obviously before the cars really came around, but yeah. This looks like this car went from the Ohio Fairgrounds to 17th Avenue, where we are now. And here is a good map here of all of the Ohio History Connection sites throughout the state. So we're here at the Star. There are 2 more around here. There's 3 more around here. But they're all throughout the state. There's about, many counties don't have one, but there are a good amount of counties that have 1 to 2. So we'll try to get to all these at some point in the future, but yeah. I just want to take a look at this old luggage. It's very interesting. People definitely did not travel light back in the day. These are from the 20s. They came from vaudeville actors from Ohio, from Wapakoneta. Say that 100 times, it'll never get boring. Some more animal type deals. There's even a whole carousel horse. This was a fire truck from the 1890s. See, they carried it right there on with them. So let's go on back here towards more of this gallery, I think. No, this is something else. Please don't feed the exhibits. Here's a little model. Looks like we have some guns here. World War II, this is World War I. War of Attrition. Look at some of these guns are big. They're huge. You have a few German guns. There's an Austrian, a French. There's a lot of various American supplies here from First World War. Some stuff that heat up food, silverware. Here's some tags here. People from Mansfield and Columbus. Very interesting. Here we got some more. Here's some buttons. Not exactly sure what these are from, but kind of showed off what their people's passions were apparently. Here's a helmet. Here's some German helmets from World War One. Could imagine getting hit by someone wearing one of those, that's for sure. You could put a platter up there. Here are some more weapons. We have some stuff on farming in Ohio. That's a huge part of our economy. It always was. Then we also have a gas mask here from World War One. Prevented mustard gas from affecting people. Here's the bell from the battleship Ohio. It was decommissioned after 20 years of service in 1923. Sold for scrap. Definitely a Depression era move. Here's a picture of Newark from 1860. And here's what's making all the creaking sound. It is a millwright, a water power mill. Moving, this thing's probably going all the time. You can see how power was generated by moving water. The water would go through there and turn this stuff, and it would give some power, or at least help manufacturing of goods from farm stuff. So we have some railroads, stuff made in Ohio, some jugs, some desks, clocks, hats, you name it. It was probably made here at one point. They need better lighting in this place, but I'm not in charge of that. Here's a watch chain from 1790, belonged to General Anthony Wayne. So we'll be visiting a lot of Indian Wars sites at some point. But there were a lot fought here in Ohio, unfortunately. Here are some artifacts that were traded amongst the Europeans and the Native Americans. You can see, looks like they traded for different beads and pipes and weapons. So a lot of the things that they have here are artifacts and just old stuff. I mean, look at these jugs. These are gotta be incredibly old. Got a little playhouse of sorts. Might actually be a like a model of a home, but we got more pelts here. You got that squirrel's pissed. That rabbit's pissed. Some little mice. They even got a turtle here. And the fish. That looks like potentially, what is this? Some kind of pike, maybe. I don't know. Got a little play area for kids. Here's some glassware from the 60s. They have all kinds of kitchen appliances. So 1960s here. You got the 40s, the ice box, different things that open up on the stoves. And you get into the coal stoves. Just keep going back, 1900s. You got some nice glassware and stuff, but you got these really old stoves. They'd probably burn you just a touch. So this next exhibit is all about the 1950s. This was, one of the glory decades of American society, and I think a lot of boomers want to show that off. So here we go. Welcome to the 50s. No food or drink. We have some original furniture here from the 50s. Leave it the Beavers on. This is what I look like in the 50s. It's the bee's knees, guys. Here is a 1950s kitchen. Weird ass lighting. Doesn't give any good light at all. Then we have your sink and a dishwasher. And this is where you would not only wash your clothes, but also wash your dishes too. See the stovetop? Definitely has made many here's an old radio that's on. And then here's where you would clean sheets and iron stuff. And then here's our backyard. Big thing was having turf in the backyard. And you probably remember that from the Brady Bunch if you've seen that. But here is an entrance to a bomb shelter because everyone in the 50s was paranoid. Then here's some fun yard stuff. We got a hat and some lawn darts. That seems like a dangerous game. A grill, thermos for coffee, some quote real plants there. And we got some different things from the 50s, some games here. Here's an electric basketball game. That must have been just so much fun. And a Nancy Drew game. Some baseball uniform, a Larry Doby card here. Checkers, roller skates. And everyone here knows I love Disney, so here's a old Musketeer hat. And then some football pads and cleats. Some more toys, an Astro ray gun. It's cool. if you wanted to be a cowboy, here you go, fake gun. This is all about radio and television, some of the big parts. Civil rights, McCarthyism, definitely still a thing nowadays. They got all kinds of different parts here. They got some walls. Looks like Epcot a little bit. Oh, I know. We just came out of here. Well, we just went in there. That was a short gallery. And we're back to the Mastodon here at the bottom level. But we're going to check out all the natural history of Ohio here. Look at those horns. That's from an ox. And this was located just south of Newark. They found that. So giant beavers. Look at that head. This is the Beavers Skull. Here's what the largest normal present day one, and then that's how big that one was. Some mastodon teeth. I need some bigger teeth like that. Probably not, but look at this. It's a big piece of wood, but they have all the big historical marks that this tree saw. It's there from the time Ohio was founded to World War II. Climate and weather, we all know that it sucks here. We have more birds. They have too many birds here. I'm not gonna lie, kind of creepy, but not judging right now. So this was a barometer from mercury. It was made, I don't think that's it, but this is after the Civil War. And what is this? Here are some of Ohio's things. Chocolate, crayons, and matches. We have all kinds of rocks here because of the glaciers coming by. Here's some more wood. A lot of wooden products were, made here throughout the years. Some wheat. We have a lot of wheat. Then we have some bigger animals here, like the deer. See many of them. We have a fox and a bear. I never want to see a bear in Ohio. Then we have this guy. He looks sad or afraid that he's at a museum. I don't know. Here we have another eagle. There are some around here, so there's a plethora of arthropods, invertebrates, and vertebrates here in Ohio. You can see they have on display here woodchuck, crawfish, bullfrogs, snails, and many different skeleton type structures have been found here around Ohio, including the big oink oink, bison, horses, bears, deer, sheep. In the meadows, you can find these foxes and badgers and birds and rabbits. As of 1990, there were 108 species that were listed as endangered in Ohio. I wonder how many of these have been back, but a lot of them look like marine animals, like fish and mussels and minnows. Then there's also a lot of birds on that list too. Here we have some otters, rivers. They have nearly disappeared from Ohio before 1900 because of the loss of habitat and deforestation. Makes sense. Otters were removed from the state's endangered list in 2002, so there's an update for you. Have some more barn owls. There's a bobcat. If you went to OU, you know bobcats are that mascot, and that bobcat looks scary. This one has concerns. Look at that beauty. Here's a mountain lion. These were here until about 1850. So they didn't last very long. They definitely moved on from Ohio. And then timber wolf here. The last one in Ohio were killed in 1842. So when the California gold rush was about to hit. We have a porcupine and black bears as well, but they've continued to grow in population in Ohio, which is good, I suppose. Here we are. This is the Gone from Ohio section. A lot of mollusks. These obviously can survive because a lot of the dams that were built here, but there's some birds. The ravens were gone from Ohio in by 1900. I swear you can still see some here today, but sure. Then we have the lynx here, and snowshoe hares and fishers must be a kind of weasel. These were gone by the 1850s, though. Greater prairie chicken. And then, look at this guy. It's bison. They were an elk, a big elk head. They were gone by 1840s. Oh, and here are some introduced animals that stowed away, ended up somehow in Ohio. Probably a lot of European settlers brought them around, specifically these mice, for sure. Here's some grassland animals. Coyotes. Remember, my wife hit one time. It's kind of crazy, and probably the most seen wild animal here. Definitely has roadkill though, the possum. So many different animals here. So these are the recovered animals. All these animals were fairly common on the Ohio frontier. As the state settled, they became very rare. But then when the forest regrew, last half century, populations of these animals recovered. So you have ducks, wood duck. You got the woodpecker as well here. You got the wild turkeys and white-tailed deer as well. Now that's one ugg mug. And I'm not sure what this is, but this is look at this ocelot hide, not from Ohio. These are from Mexico. Oh, look at a hat from a leopard skin. Yeah, these are kind of messed up. Then you have some snakes. We do have snakes here. Bird collecting apparently was popular here in the mid 18th century, so people would have fire screens made of all these various birds. This was made in England, though. But you can see there's some pretty big birds: the eagle, great horned owl, ergot, and even a hellbender salamander. This next collection, rocks. Literally. Here's a rock. Look at all the sparkles in that. Wow. This is Flint, Ohio's official gemstone. Here are some various types of minerals that were found here in Ohio. Not all of them were from Ohio, but we will see that. Got quartz. This is from Arkansas. That's what quartz from New York looks like. That's what quartz from Ontario looks like. And here's what quartz on Flint looks like. Just from an hour here in Licking County. Here's some quartz that was found in Adams County. And more quartz. Absolutely stunning. So stunning. They have a map here about quartz, also known as silicon dioxide. So south and southeast Ohio, with some spots in the west and in the north, you can find quartz. And that quartz from Adams County. Some Illinois quartz, some hematite. It's a common mineral in southern Ohio, and it's used in iron ores. Here's some Galena. There's a town named after Galena, where, oddly enough, it's located in Delaware County, where Galena has been found. Lead sulfide. It's used for lead and silver ore. And this is selenite, hydrocious calcium sulfate. You find that up in northern Ohio, and whether you know it or not, this is used in making plaster and drywall. So it goes from that to being walls. We have calcium fluoride here. It comes in many colors, apparently. This was found up in Sandusky, Ohio. That's pretty much where you would find it. And you see this used in steel and ceramic glass. So that makes sense. We got some barite. This is from Wood County. That's up where Bowling Green is, where I went to school. and barium sulfate. Not sure what that's used for. They don't really specify. You can also find this in Franklin County, where we are now. So in Western Ohio, they have dolomite. Logan County, Adams County, that is calcium magnesium carbonate. So here's some more flint here. It is a type of quartz, but this is what people use to trade in Native American cultures. It can be very colorful, but you can see how it can come in many different forms. And you can also find some halite here, also known as sodium chloride, also known as salt. So, salt here in Ohio. And here, this is found in Franklin County. This is called Marcosite. It's another form of iron sulfide. You can find pyrite, also known as fool's gold. But look how big this piece is. Here is a chunk of strontiite. It's uncommon. It happens up in the northwest, and it's also known as strontium carbonate. But here is a very impressive piece here. This is the celestite. These are beautiful crystals, and they're found up in northwest Ohio and a couple places along the river. And this is Celestite and Calcite on dolomite. This is huge. Imagine finding that in your backyard or something. And this is a stalactite from a cave here in Ohio. Here's one from Lucas County. That's Toledo. Another calcite from Paulding County. This is you can find this mineral in limestone, which is very abundant here in Ohio. Sulfur. There are lots of sulfur in Ohio. Maybe not sulfur rocks, but here is fluoride. It's found very common here in Ohio. And gold. Wow. Huge piece of gold. Brought here by glaciers. And then pure carbon. These are diamonds that are simulated, but you can find those in some of the corners. And here we have fossils. This is pretty cool. So, found in Ohio, find trilobites and flexocalamine, another type of trilobite. Very early organisms here in the world. You can see some stems from various rocks and trees. Crinoids. These are probably like little coral type creatures, type of almost like a flower. But yeah, here's another mammoth molar. Mammoths were found a lot here because of the glaciers rolling through from the north. It's crazy that these just pop up from the ground. So I think it's moving on the bottom level, but we're going to go to the top. So I think that's all we have at the bottom level. So let's go on up to the top level and see what they have up here. So not much here on top. They do have a cafe, but this looks like more of a meeting place more than anything. So that's going to do it for us today here at the Ohio Historical Center. Come check it out if you like. They have a whole Ohio village in the back. I'm going to say that for a later date, as got to get home and do some things around the house. But I had a great time today walking through the museum. I hope you did as well. Make sure to give me a subscribe and like this video, as it helps it reach other people who are also interested in history, specifically Ohio history. So with that being said, I'm taking off. I hope you learned some today. Stay tuned for our next video. We'll see where we go then. Take care.